Good evening. Let me go ahead and call this regular meeting of the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District to order. It is Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. It is 6:32 p.m. and we are at the RGCGISD Gruya High School cafeteria. I want to first start off in thanking Mr. Osuna, your administration, your staff. Thank you for having us and for your hospitality. For determining the purposes of a quorum, let me go ahead and take roll call. Mr. Elizar Velasquez Jr.
Present.
Mr. John A. Pope IV.
Present.
Mr. Noe Castillo.
Present.
Mr. Basilio D. Varela Jr.
Present.
Mr. J. Peña.
Present.
And myself, Eddie Ramirez, present. Let the minutes reflect that we do have a quorum. Before I ask for assistance from the Pledge of Allegiance, it seems like every meeting I get a list of family members that we've lost, and this one's a little bit tough for anyone who has family members or know these individuals or is a parent of children their own. But I want to name them individually. We have Mr. Pedro H. Gonzalez. He served 38 years with the school district at the maintenance department. We have Fermín Francisco Alcazar, 14 years with the district as a security guard at General Ricardo Sanchez Elementary. Alejandro Rodriguez, 3 years with the district, Gruya High School guardhouse. Last but definitely not least, with the permission of his parents, I get choked up because I have a 6-month baby, and it's tough. But we got to remember Ricky Olivares Jr., 6th grader, VMS, loved band. He was a tuba player, enjoyed his athletic class, and he was planning on joining the football team. His mom, Jennifer, is extremely grateful and comforted to see that so many people love their son. I'm not one to have loss of words, but it's tough. So if anyone wants to add more to that, you're more than welcome. I would just say that definitely gone away too soon. There's not much you can say to the parents and the family other than you pour your hearts out to them. You offer your prayers and your support. And we ask and pray that they all rest in peace and that perpetual light shine upon them. Would you all please join me just for a brief moment in memory of them? Thank you all so very much. Section 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Velasquez, will you help us with the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Section 3, approval of minutes for the special board meeting held February 8th, 2022, and the regular board meeting held February 23rd, 2022. Do I have a meeting or any discussion on Section 3?
I so move that we approve the board meeting on February the 8th of the year 2022 and the regular board meeting of February the 23rd of the year 2022.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Castillo. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor, so raise your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Section 4, public forum. None. Thank you. Then we move on to Section 5, recognitions. There are quite a bit of them. So the first one being spelling bee recognition. I have presenting Ms. Lily Olivares.
Good evening, members of the board, board president, Mr. Peña, community. I want to formally and welcome and congratulate all our spelling bee participants for this year. We had our district spelling bee February the 4th, and out of 18 campuses or 18 students, we had our top 3 winners advance to the regional spelling bee in Edinburgh on March the 5th. And so I'm very, very proud of these 3 students. We had from an elementary school at General Ricardo Sanchez Elementary, Juliana Saldana. She's a 5th grade student there. Her coach is Ms. Gia Olivares. Her principal, Ms. Brenda Carmona, And so we would like to congratulate Juliana, fifth grader. We're excited to see what she does for us and for herself in these next few years for Spelling Bee. From Veterans Middle School, we had Freddie Martinez. His coach is Ms. Monica Hernandez, and his principal is Mr. Jesse Rodriguez. Please come up, students, when I call your name, and coaches. We have a little gift for you. Juliana. Yes, coaches and principals, come up, please. And then at RMS, we had Chaitanya Miana, and he is a second back-to-back regional spelling bee participant. Last year, he placed third, and this year, he placed second. They went 30 rounds. It was super exciting to see that, and there was almost 40 participants. So Chaitanya's coach is Ms. Belsa Cantu, and his principal is Ms. Maribel Montemayor. We have Mr. Limas here representing the campus.
Can you join us for a
So
picture?
we're very, very proud of these students, very exciting spelling bees to watch and to be part of for these kids. So super excited. Freddie and Chaitanya are 7th graders, so next year, we're excited for them. Thank you and congratulations, kids.
I noticed your hand was getting a little warm there.
The second recognition is the Public Relations Department presenting Mr. Ariano Zuna.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Peña, our entire school board. everybody here at Gruya High School, and everybody watching us live on Facebook. At this time, we would like to represent the members of the Public Relations Department. Every campus has a Public Relations representative, and they are charged with, of course, showcasing everything that happens at their campus, and they've been doing a tremendous job this year. If you all see on our district Facebook page, RGCGISD, you're going to see that we oftentimes share from the campuses. And I know that at our office, there's just so many things that happen. We spend sometimes up to 3 days catching up with what everybody posts at the campus. And that is wonderful. We meet once a month. And whenever we can't go out there, they're always there to cover every event that goes on. So at this time, I would like to introduce the public representatives from each campus, and of course, our public relations officers there at our office. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and start off with our high school. We have from Rio Grande City High School, we have Roque Vera. Mr. Vera. From Gruya High School, we have Sandor Lopez.
Put it here. I want to get it from my municipal.
That's awesome. From Early College, we have Belinda Peña and Jacqueline Garza. From Gruya Middle School, we have Rosario Osuna. From Ringgold Middle School, we have Miss Jeannie Anderson. From Veterans Middle School, we have Miss Maria A. Hinojosa. We also have Clarabelle Solis. From Ace Middle School, we have Julissa Barrera. Now for the elementaries, and trust me guys, the elementaries have so many events, so many costumes that they put on to, to make sure that the kids learn perfectly, and they really go above and beyond. From La Union Elementary, we have Ana Alvirde, but she's represented by Mr. Vino, the principal. She couldn't make it tonight. From Dr. Mario Ramirez, we have Cynthia Garcia. From Gruya Elementary, we have Janet Zarate. From Alto Bonito, we have Leanne Alanis. From John and Olive Hinojosa, we have Ms. Rosabel Garcia. From Ringgold Elementary, our PR rep is on maternity leave, but we have Ms. Amy de la Garza representing her. From Roque Guerra, we have Ms. Debbie Delano. And from Ace Elementary, we have Ms. Erica Salinas. As I said, these ladies and gentlemen go above and beyond, making sure that everything that happens at the campuses is shared with our community. It is a tough job. I know every time we meet, we tell them how much stuff we've got going on. So I want to thank the public relations representative from each campus. Thank you once again. Smile big, guys, through the mask. Thank you very much to our PR representatives from the campuses. And remember, April and May are the most busiest months, guys, so let's be ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and introduce our public relations personnel there at Central Office. Our two clerks, we have Denise Alanis and Esther Ayala. Our head graphic designer, we have Jessica Murillo. If you can see all the billboards, guys, and all the flyers and all the stuff that we put on Facebook, Jessica and Honorio is also a graphic designer, Honorio Garza. We have our videographers, Jonathan Camacho and Anaí Solis, and you're going to see some of their work momentarily. We're going to present about 4 videos tonight that Anaí and Jonathan really, they do great. And our PR tutors, we have Dian Osuna and Rudy Basan as well. So you will see them basically all around campuses and departments taking pictures of every celebration. Ms. Rebecca Rubio is our media studio supervisor.
The next department is a department that probably doesn't get enough appreciation and respect and recognition as much as they deserve. So much so that you're going to be serenaded by the 10-time mariachi state champions tonight. And I'll let Mr. Gonzalez recognize everybody. And we will go out and take pictures with you. You don't have to come over here because I know you're a good number.
On behalf of Mr. Gonzalez, actually, and it is very true what Mr. Ramirez said, the maintenance department and the custodians are the first ones here and the last ones to leave every day. And we're not going to have you come up here because we are going to have a luncheon for them on Thursday. So we're going to give them certificates and more recognition on Thursday. But for right now, we're just going to mention the departments. And as Mr. Ramirez said, the board and superintendent are going to go over there and take pictures with them. And afterwards, we'll have some refreshments, some cake, and of course, here our award-winning mariachi. So I'm just going to go ahead and read over the departments so you can see the vast number of departments that they have within the maintenance department. Starting off, of course, with our director, Mr. Epimenio Gonzalez. Within the maintenance department, they have obviously office staff, supervisors. They have workers in the warehouse, janitorial supplies, tire servicemen, safety, mechanics, welders, locksmiths, and pest control. That's only within the warehouse department. They also have a painting department, an HVAC, which fixes the air conditions and the heaters, electricians and plumbers, carpenters, site maintenance departments, which go to the various sites, and that's just the maintenance department. And then, of course, we have our custodians in each and every campus, and basically in every department in our district. So at this time, if we can have all of our custodians who are here tonight and maintenance department, please rise just to be recognized. I know that every member that works in the school district, whether it be in a campus or in a department, they are glad that you all do what you do, because as soon as the air conditioner breaks down, as soon as a pipe breaks, window breaks, you're the first person that they call for. So thank you for your unending dedication to our department, or to our district. And at this time, if we can have our board and superintendent, please go to our maintenance department while our award-winning mariachi begins to play for us. Just remember, yes, go ahead.
Mr. Osuna, I think Mr. Peña wanted to address.
Definitely.
Muy buenas noches a todos y bienvenidos a esta gran noche. Para el Departamento de Mantenimiento y de Custodians, les queremos dar las mil gracias de parte de la mesa directiva, de todos los directores, todos los campos, los padres de familia. Gracias por todo lo que hacen todos los días. Como dijo Mr. Osuna, son los primeros que nos abren las puertas de la mañana, los últimos que se vayan, ¿verdad? Y también los edificios que están, ¿verdad? Renovating, componiendo, wow. In the next few weeks, we're going to take you, school board, to see Building 4. Wow, it's a beautiful facility. Lo que están haciendo es, y van a ver en el video un poco, ¿verdad?, cómo están saliendo los edificios en Fort Ringgold. Y lo están haciendo nuestros trabajadores. So, ese es un gran honor, que la historia de aquí, del distrito y de Fort Ringgold va a seguir. So, gracias a todos ustedes por el apoyo que nos dan todos los días y el talento que traen para nuestros hijos, ¿verdad? Gracias. Y vamos a ver un video más al rato y van a ver el trabajo que están haciendo. Está maravilloso. No hay palabras para expresar. So, gracias por todo lo que hacen todos los días. Mil gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Peña. And before we hear our mariachi, we do have a video that we prepared for the maintenance department, just a short video.
The Rio Grande City Gruya ISD Maintenance Department, under the direction of Mr. Epimenio Gonzalez, always goes above and beyond for our students, staff, and district. They are the first ones to arrive, last to leave, and do the jobs most would likely take a pass on. Our district would not be where we are today without our maintenance staff. They are the backbone of Rio Grande City Gruya ISD. We want to thank every single maintenance employee and every custodian in our district for ensuring that our campuses and our buildings are safe and clean, and that our students and district are in the best hands. Thank you for all that you do.
Mr. Peña, just a few words. On behalf of myself, I want to thank all the maintenance department because we've been through a tremendous, ugly, terrible pandemic, and these people were in the front lines of cleaning up, going out there and putting themselves on the line for us. So I want to say thank you to all of you, because without you guys going out there and cleaning all these things and disinfecting and doing everything we needed to do, school would have not functioned. So thank you for working through the pandemic and making RGCGISD one of the best districts in the state of Texas. Thank you.
Y no quieren sandwiches, Mr. Peña, quieren brisket. Okay? All right.
Where were you? You want to say that there? Or?
As I said, refreshments and cake are ready. So if our mariachi is about to begin playing, help yourself to our maintenance department. The cake is amazing.
We're going to take pictures first with the maintenance, and then we'll start serving. And our mariachi, Gruya Mariachi de Plata, will be playing for all of us for a few minutes. So we're going to take a little intermission while we take pictures and get our little desserts.
And the mariachi cannot leave yet.
Yes.
I love mariachi.
Let's go take pictures.
I'm going to watch the concert.
Aquí en enfrente. Sí. Espera. ¿Me paro enfrente? Ahí. Look in the front of the school board. Pásale. Este hombre ni hace ruido, está muy sentado, ¿no? Or you can put it.
Check. Round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for our maintenance and custodial department. Thank you all so very much. Muchísimas gracias. Check. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our award-winning Mariachi Gruya de Plata. If you have not gotten your cake and refreshment, guys, please, there is plenty to go around. Mr. Rodriguez, one more song? Thank you very much to our, once again, 10-time award-winning state champion, Mariachi Gruya de Plata. And of course, to Mr. Rodriguez, the Mariachi director. Thank you very much for everything you do, sir. Mariachi, don't leave just yet. We're going to present you with a little special token. As soon as our board reconvenes, at this time, if we can have our mariachi please come over here to the front. Mr. Osuna.
Wait. Thank you, Mariachi. Thank you. We're going to present you with some tokens. You know, thank you for everything that you do. Wonderful entertainment. As I read your names, please go up and receive a little token, okay? So please line up over there. Please line up over there. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Great job. Thank you. Como siempre. Está bien. Good job. Careful. Careful going up the stairs, okay? Careful. Careful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. As I call you up, please go up and receive your little token. I have Miss Vanessa Falcon, violin. Vanessa Falcon, violin. Let's hear it again for our 10-time state champ, Mariachi. In a row, ladies and gentlemen, in a row. It would have been 11 if it hasn't been for the COVID year. That is correct. Next, we have Jose Alaniz, trumpet. Josiah Escamilla at guitar. We have Elisa Villarreal, guitarron. Elian Villarreal. I know, I don't have mine. Dana Flores, violin. Danaí Elizondo, violin. Carolina Rodríguez, violin. Amador Martínez, violin. Analí Hinojosa, violin. Arlette Garcia, violin. Eliazar Garza, violin. Isidro Otero Vihuela. Juan Carlos González Jr., trumpet. Nathaniel Horta, trumpet. Nayeli Peña, harp. And we have two alternates who also helped us out tonight. And I'm going to have your director for your name.
Jesus Martinez, guitar. And Leo Leal, violin.
And of course, our director, Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you, sir, for your hard work and dedication. Thank you. I just would like to add, thank you, parents. Thank you, students, directors, for making this a wonderful year. It's a tradition that we've always been having here at Gruya High School, keeping that tradition alive. And it's a saying that we have here that it says, keeping a tradition of passion and excellence It's something that we strive here at Gruya High School. So thank you. I know it's a tough act to follow year after year, getting the #1 state, ranked mariachi. So thank you, school board. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent, for always supporting us. So thank you, Grace. Thank you, guys. Great job. Let's have another round of applause, please.
Oh, querías dar un cake. Sí, no, yo me arranqué para allá, hola.
Oye, yo viendo la casa, me antojó. She didn't come today, okay.
What do we have questions? Who do we have? I know what's going on.
Before we wrap up on recognitions, I know there's 2 more, Mr. Osuna. Ariel, don't leave yet. I know the Gruya golf team has advanced also.
Yes,
You want to talk about that?
we're very proud of a golf team for advancing. For the first time ever at Gruya High School, we have a district champion golf, team, for the 8th grade. I'm sorry, not 8th grade. I'm sorry, for our golf team. So, and we have in the ladies' side, we also have a first-time district champ on the ladies' side also. So congratulations to him. I thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
And look forward to seeing them in the area.
Mr. Osuna, so basically the girl won the district championship?
Yes.
She was the #1 golfer?
Yes, she is a
And-
number
and
one
your-
golfer.
And your boys won the district title, correct?
They won the district title for the very first time,
never,
sir.
never has that ever happened, right?
Never happened here in La Gruya.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your continued support.
Thank you. And I also want to mention that the Rio High School soccer team, they accomplished the bi-district champs, and they're playing tonight for area versus Sherryland here at J.R. Sanchez, and it'll be live streamed by NFSH, if I'm not mistaken. It's playing here, right?
They're playing at Rio High School.
Rio High School, but against Sherryland.
Yes.
So
Rattlers against
we
Rattlers.
wish them all the best. It's Rattlers against Rattlers, but only one.
But we were
one
the first
the real
Rattlers
Rattlers can
ever,
win. So congratulations to them as well. Round of applause for the soccer team. Section 6, reports and information. Item number 1, report on T-Class Pathway A and B finalist video.
Good evening, Mr. President, once again, members of the board. At this time, we're going to be showing a video that will highlight some of the members of our district that were given the opportunity through the T-Class program. And I know Ms. Morris mentioned it at the last board meeting. Basically, it's the Grow Your Own program. And several of our, actually all of our tutors and substitute teachers, all of our paraprofessionals were given the opportunity to apply for this program, and 6 were chosen. 6 were chosen, and we have prepared a video that's going to highlight the lucky recipients of this. So the program will pay for their college so they can become teachers and they can stay within our district. So we can play the video. And most of them are here right now. Dr. Salinas is going to be presenting some plaques to them at the end of the video.
We would like to thank the RGCGISD Board of Trustees, Mr. Adolfo Peña Jr., Superintendent, Mrs. Elsa V. Morris, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and Mrs. Patricia Soto, Director for T-Class and Data Fellow. Rio Grande City Gruya ISD, with the help of the Texas Education Agency, was seeking qualified paraprofessionals, instructional aides, and long-term substitutes to transition to full-time certified teacher roles in a traditionally hard-to-staff teaching field. This program is designed to grow our own teachers, to address the growing concern for teacher shortage areas, and to close the demographic gaps between students and teachers. Our goal is to promote a long-term recruitment and retention program by targeting already proven and dedicated staff who desire opportunities for advancement.
Hello, I'm Joanna Garcia, and I've always felt the desire to become a teacher. The saying, "Be the change you wish to see in the world" by Gandhi is my inspiration. I want to become a teacher to make a difference in the lives of the children in my community. Growing up, I always struggled in school, and I always had amazing teachers that helped me and guided me, and I want to be that in our community as well to our students.
Hello, my name is Larissa Martinez. I am from Rio Grande City. I am currently working in the district in Gruya Middle School as a tutor. This primary reason why I have decided to pursue a teaching career is that I feel the strong desire to possibly influence and enrich children with knowledge as some of my better teachers did to me. I recognize the difficulties that come with working with children, but through patience, understanding, compassion, and sensitivity, I am wholeheartedly prepared to embark on this journey.
Hello, my name is Hendrik Palacios. As a future educator, I want to inspire, teach, and most importantly, make a difference. I'll work with them to support them in whatever they are doing to help them improve as students and to help them become better people overall. To perform all of these things, I must examine not only my own position, but also the role of my curriculum, the classroom atmosphere I establish, and the involvement of each child that joins my classroom.
Hello, my name is Mireya Basaldua, and I'm currently employed at Rio Grande City High School as an Algebra 1 and Geometry substitute teacher. I'm so honored to have been selected as Grow Your Own grant recipient. I earned an associate's degree in math from STC and a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics from UTRGV. I quickly realized that my heart belonged to teaching high school math. I have enjoyed teaching my students this year and getting to know them. However, after the COVID learning loss, it's been a challenging first year. I am determined to help my students succeed to the best of my ability.
Hi, my name is Rolando Lopez, and I'm proud to have been chosen for the TEA Grow Your Own here in RGCGISD. I graduated from Gruya High School in 2013. After a while, I went back to school, which I currently am studying to be an English teacher. I am currently working in John and Olive Hinojosa Elementary as a librarian instructional aide. I look forward to working with our district and helping our students.
Hello, my name is Araceli Gonzalez. Teaching for me is a way of helping future generations becoming successful. As a teacher, I want to guide and teach students to inspire future goals. I want to take a step forward in my education, pursue a career, and become a high school teacher. The desire to help students is crucial to me, not only because becoming a teacher might be fun, but because teaching will allow me to attend to many students' needs, to the conclusion of helping them learn.
Mr. Board President, members of the board, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Peña, it is an honor to present to you the first cohort, T-Class cohort, Grow Your Own. As you saw, these are our wonderful, dedicated employees. The first cohort, hopefully of many to come. At this time, we have Ms. Mireya Basaldua. Yeah. I invite the board and superintendent to please come up. Ms. Joanna Garcia. Araceli Gonzalez. Rolando Lopez. Larisa Martínez. Hendrik Palacios.
Hold on, Pat. You got it? Okay. Now if we can get a group picture of all of our recipients, together with our administration, Ms. Morris, Ms. Soto, and Mr. Dr. Salinas.
¿Qué dices?
Members of the board, really quick, we would like to announce to you that one of our candidates has already passed her certification in mathematics. So she's ready to be our teacher. So Mireya Basaldúa, congratulations.
Okay. Item number 2, report on TEA Effective District Framework, EDF State Committee. I have Elsa Varela Morris presenting.
Board President, members of the board, Mr. Peña, Superintendent, it gives me great pleasure to honor my fellow colleague, Ms. Melinda Ayala Rios, who has been selected to serve on the TEA District Committee for the Effective Districts Framework, EDF, Level 4, High Quality Instructional Materials Assessments and Pathways. In order to be able to serve on this committee, you must, number one, be nominated by somebody at TEA and invited to join. So we are honored and we're not surprised that Ms. Ayala has been asked to be on this district committee for our district, but it's a state committee, so she's going to be joining much bigger school districts in Rio Grande and putting us on the map. So I'm very proud of her, and at this time I respectfully recommend that we recognize Ms. Ayala for not only the work that she does with TEA, but for the work she does every day with our teachers, with our staff, with our students. You know, she's second to none, and I can't say enough good things about her. You know, like I tell her, there's nothing I ever ask from her that she ever tells me, no, I can't do it. Like, okay, we can get it done. We can get it done. She never says no. So, Ms. Ayala, we're very proud of you, and we're honored that, you know, we get to be in your presence every day. So congratulations, Ms. Ayala, from the Curriculum and Instruction Department.
Did y'all warn them que es regañona? No?
Yes. All right. I better move on before Jay
Congrats.
says anything more.
Congrats.
Okay, item 3, that was the same item that we had the public hearing for, so there's no need to report on that one again. Item 4, report on base education SEL grant, and I have Nora Escobedo as presenting.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, board members, and Mr. Peña. I'm here to announce that in search of a grant for SEL, I came across a grant that was available to us. I did apply at the end of February, and at the beginning of March, they did announce and they did award us, so we did get an $8,000 gift grant for the base education grant. This grant will start next year with our secondaries. It is a research-based SEL curriculum grant. We have been privileged in 2018-2019 school year. We were piloting this curriculum in one of our high schools. So we are a little bit familiar with how it works. So we are going to be implementing this next year with our middle schools and high schools. It is an evidence-based, and it is to meet our requirements for our school mental health plan. So it does have a lot of components that TEA is requiring that we do have in place to ensure that we're meeting the needs of our students when it comes to mental health. So I am happy to announce to you all that we are recipients of this grant for $8,000.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Item number 5, report on school health support grant. I have Mr. Orlando Barrera presenting.
Good evening, Board President, members of the board, Mr. Peña, Superintendent, staff and community members. I just wanted to give you a quick update that we did apply for a school health support grant. Since the beginning of the year, in August, they kept talking about it and that it was going to be open in September, October, November. They finally opened it up for us to apply in December 1st. We applied as soon as it was made available. We were notified on the end of the week on February that we did get this grant. This grant was meant to help us with anything COVID related. You know, all districts in the beginning of the year had to make big decisions in purchasing, for example, a lot of supplies, equipment, anything needed to try and help our COVID mitigation in the campuses. So since this grant was awarded to all the districts a little bit late, the majority of the districts are using these grants are going to be using it for reimbursement purposes. So I know that we made big purchases on, for example, hand sanitizers. We continue to buy hand soaps for cleanliness of our hands and cleaning supplies that we use, disinfectants. So all the grant funds that we did get, we are able to get reimbursed quite a bit of money. So just want to report to you on that.
How large was the grant, or how small, or how big? Or
it was $385,000, sir.
Wow, for how in a calendar year or over?
So it is supposed to end on March 31st of 2022, which is about in 2 days. So once again, we were notified late. All school districts were notified late on this grant. So the majority of the school districts are using it for reimbursement purposes for big purchases that we've had in the past.
Are we going to be able to exhaust all that grant and reimbursement?
Yes, of course, sir. I am already working with our federal program, Mrs. Gonzalez, our finance department, our maintenance department, and everything will be reimbursed. All the purchases that we've done in the past, all the allowable reimbursements, we are going to be getting reimbursed back in the district to utilize for whatever could benefit our students in the future, or our district, and for future programs or anything like that.
Well, to all the people who got grants, congratulations. To Superman, congratulations again, buddy.
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
Item number 6, update on students, staff highlights. I have Mr. Osuna as presenting.
Good evening. This is this month's edition of our highlights video of obviously February.
At Rio Grande City Gruya ISD, we aim for excellence in every aspect of school life. February was a sensational month. Our migrant department hosted a curbside spectacular event for all graduating migrant students where they each received a plaque, personalized jacket, and a delicious meal. We celebrated our sensational counselors for National School Counseling Week. Our counselors always go above and beyond for our students, and we are truly grateful for everything they do. RGCGISD hosted the annual Spelling Bee competition for elementary and middle school students in our district. Congratulations to everyone who participated. The Library and Media Services Department held the second round of the Battle of the Books competition, with the AC2E Elementary, Gruya Middle School, and Rio Grande City High School teams becoming our regional representatives. The Migrant Education Program, in collaboration with College First, hosted architecture and construction camps where students were able to participate in a full day of hands-on learning. Our sensational superintendent treated our students and staff to a special Valentine's Day cupcake, card, and fortune cookie. The Public Relations Department released the first ever RGCG TV newscast run by our audio-video production students. Mariachi Gruya de Plata and Mariachi Cascabel competed at the UIL State Mariachi Festival, where each group took home a Division I trophy. The Bilingual Education ESL Department represented RGCGISD at the 51st National Association for Bilingual Educators Hybrid Conference in New York City. The RGCGISD Curriculum and Instruction Department presented at the annual TAS8 conference, where they spoke about the success of their work with the Academic Youth Development Center in Austin, Texas. The Child Nutrition Program hosted a special Valentine's Day basket giveaway for our elementary, middle, and high school students. Our Lady Rattlers won their second consecutive District 30-5A championship title with a perfect 10-0 record for first place in district play. Our career and technical education students represented RGCGISD at the Region 13 District Leadership Skills USA competition, with several students advancing to state. The RGCGISD Transportation Department hosted a luncheon in honor of National Bus Driver Appreciation Week. John and Olive Hinojosa Elementary represented RGCGISD at the National ESEA Conference in New Orleans, where they earned the highly coveted Distinguished School title. At RGCGISD, we strive to give you, our students and our staff, an experience of a lifetime. At Rio Grande City Gruya ISD, we aim for excellence in...
As you can see, the videos are getting a little bit more lengthy because there's so many things that are going on, and of course, April and May promise to be even longer. So,
On that note, item number 7, report on construction projects. Mr. Osuna?
yes, once again, we have another video to highlight some of the construction projects that are ongoing at the moment.
Rio Grande City Gruya ISD is excited to share how some of our projects and renovations are progressing. These projects and renovations range from items that were voted on in the bond election to other much-needed improvements in our district. Roque Guerra Junior Elementary has completely upgraded and replaced the roof on the portable buildings. The roof looks great and is functioning at 100%. We continue to improve the buildings around Fort Ringgold. The interior of Building 4 is progressing at an exciting rate. New flooring has been installed, as well as the continuation of other much-needed upgrades. The plans for the new Gruya Middle School facilities are underway, as crews have finally finished clearing the area for the new location. Very soon, we will start to see construction for the home of our mighty Gruya Middle School cranes. Stay tuned for more upgrades on current and future projects, and remember, at RGCGISD, we are working for you, our students and our staff, to create an experience of a lifetime. At Rio Grande...
And I know we've mentioned before the golf range here at Gruya High School. I know that Mr. Osuna himself has been practicing with the district champs, to get them to where they are right now. But yes, even our golf driving range is very, very close to termination. So whenever that's ready, we'll go ahead and present it as well.
Awesome. I believe that concludes all the items that need to be considered on the reports and information. So we'll proceed to section 7, recommending approving the consent agenda. The board has agreed to discuss the following items. All of the items below, they're not called out, will be approved by consent. Consent agenda item number 1, consider and take possible action on donations to Rio Grande City Gruya ISD. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 1?
Mr. President, I move that we approve consent agenda item 1 and item 2.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Mr. Peña. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Action item number 3, consider and take possible action on request for use of school facilities from Jehovah's Witnesses Central Spanish Congregation, Fort Ringgold Auditorium. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 3?
I move that we approve item 3 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Castillo. Any discussion required?
Real quickly, they are paying a fee, Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir, they are.
Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item number 4, discussing consideration and possible action on amending of General Counsel's contract. I asked that this particular item be placed on the board agenda, and I did so for a few reasons. Number 1, it's been a while that we've actually reviewed and analyzed his original contract. That's number 1. Number 2, Superintendent and I probably talk to General Counsel on a daily basis with so much going on, and it became readily apparent to me that the workload was getting incredibly high. It was drastically increasing. There's a lot of stuff going on with our real estate projects, our bond election issues. We got insurance litigation and personnel litigation as well. And I think the more important part is we used to spend so much money on attorneys for outsourcing a lot of this work, and I have seen him do that very, very little time. From a supervisory or analytical perspective, there's 3 lawyers up here, but we get to value them differently or evaluate them differently. And I speak for myself, and I'll let my colleagues up here say their piece, but I've been impressed, and I've actually think your work is superb, and you're always on call, you're always ready. And for that reason, I'm going to motion that the original contract be amended and increased $2,500 every month, and that we give you a year's contract. That's my motion. I'm not sure if anyone has any discussion or want to second that motion.
Second, subject to discussion.
There's a second by Mr. Peña. Proceed with discussion, Mr. Peña.
All terms are remaining the same, month to month.
That's correct.
We have a 30-day out if we need it. Not that we're going to have a 30-day out, but if we wanted, okay.
No, but
Eddie's was 1 year. You said 1 year.
1 year, but it has a 30-day buyout.
So I just want to make sure that all the contracts, we have a 30-day out. We don't want to get caught,
Right,
things.
and specifically with attorneys, we're kind of like doctors.
Yeah.
On any given Tuesday, we can be amended or terminated.
Okay, sir.
So the 1 year
is not going to happen, sir, but just.
The 1 year looks pretty, but sometimes at the end of the day, it's 30 days. As long as you give 30 days notice and you have cause for it, that's pretty much ends the contract there. Any further discussion required on item 4?
Let me just say that I think Baltasar has done a tremendous job. Before we go any further, I think he's done a great job for our district. He seems to be very knowledgeable of school law, and we're fortunate to have an attorney like Baltasar representing the district of RGCGISD. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good. Because I know before they start questioning, my analysis, I want Caio, you say a few words. What are you working with Mr. Salazar?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, superintendent of schools, administrators present. I concur, Mr. President. I do work with our superintendent and Mr. Salazar, if not on a daily basis, at least twice a week. I worked with several legal general counsels, and Mr. Salazar is very readily available via email. He doesn't answer your call. He calls you right back as soon as he can. So I'm impressed. I just talked to him a while ago. He's telling me he just drove in from Houston, which is very impressive to make a board meeting here tonight. So that, to me, that means a lot. So I appreciate you letting me comment on that, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Salinas. Mr. Peña?
Yes, sir, I concur with all of you. He's always here. He has not been absent, not once during the time that he's been with us. And every time I call and we need him to review all the MOUs and agreements, because we have agreements every month, from different entities. And he's always readily available and, responds appropriately, sir. So he's done an outstanding job for the district.
And I want the minutes to reflect that I actually asked him for a printout of all of Region 1 school, and he was substantially under the average for a size a comparable size of this district. So it's fair and just, and I think you deserve it. So on that note, if there's any further discussion required, Mr. Castillo?
Yes, I know that you've done a great job for us here, and I have actually worked on some of the stuff that we had come up, and you've been available on the weekends, and you always answer your phone and return the call. So really appreciate that and your ethic and what you do. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I would just add that you need to be careful, because if you slip, Mr. Peña is going to want your...
Thanks for putting up with my awkward questions. But thanks, man, appreciate it.
If there's no further discussion, there was a motion by Mr., my motion was seconded by Mr. Peña. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item 5 and 6 have to do with the Linebarger Tax Collection Service Agreement. Both of them have to be tabled due to procedural issues, so I will motion that they be tabled. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Item 7, discussion and possible board action to ratify extension request for the approval of pending application Rising Vega Solar Energy Texas Comptroller File number 1552 for agreement for limitation on appraised value of property for school district maintenance and operation taxes. Do I have a motion or any discussion on item number 7?
Mr. President, I move that we approve items 7, 8, 9, and 10 with some discussion.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 7 through 10. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Peña. Mr. Varela, you may proceed with discussion.
Yeah, can I just ask a few questions, sir? I know in the provision that we basically put in a little caveat to try and help our kids with scholarships, and that your company committed to giving our district $15,000 a year for the next 10 years. Would that be correct?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
correct. And I don't know if you've seen the latest table, but we can produce that if you'd like. But
I've got copies.
Okay.
I don't believe we have, so if we can get, that'd be good to see the copies.
I've also got a draft of the agreement. We have to run it through the controller's office before our final action, but we have drafts for the board if you want to look at.
Yes, please, that'd be good.
While Kevin's handing out those, again, you'll see one of the line items that's underlined is not only the additional payments that we've discussed in prior meetings, but the new addition to that table is the contributions that we'll be making to your scholarship foundation. And so you'll see that $15,000 a year, and that first payment will be made, should we ultimately enter into an agreement, which Kevin will talk about some of the next steps, but should we get there, that first payment we would pay this July of 2022.
So let me ask, if I know we're going to approve it tonight, but if we approve it, and the reason I say this is because we have a graduating class that's going to graduate in May. This $15,000 that has been committed to our students, by when, in other words, is it going to be for this coming year, or?
Yes, sir, it is. And, the invoicing of that first one obviously will just be, simply as quickly as we can enter into our actual agreement. There'll be a comptroller process that we still have to work through as they review that Kevin can overview. But the idea is that, soon after we enter into that agreement, we're going to look forward to making that first scholarship payment here in the coming months.
I want to ask one. I'm going to be a little bit, asking for a little bit more than that. But we have a superintendent scholarship. And I know we have Marin over there, Mr. Lopez is in charge of it. I know you're committing $15,000, but it would be nice for you to be out there and sponsor some kind of golf teams where you can go and show up. It would be fine. It would be nice.
Sorry, Kevin. And we would look forward to that opportunity as well.
Can you contact Mr. Marin and he'll give you all the information, because I think it would be nice for you to show up, because we have a lot of kids that are going to get scholarships, and they can at least meet you, and it's a team. It's nominal fee. It's not very much, but it would be nice for you to participate in that.
Sure. I'll look forward to meeting him.
Call Mr. Lopez, and I expect to see you there at the golf tournament, sir. Okay?
You can't miss him. He's the one that's ducking. He's ducking over there.
It's on April 11th.
If you look
April
at
11th.
If you look at the agreement on pages 14 and 15, the pilot payments starting in 2023 are $200,000 a year. The scholarship amount is due on the draft agreement. That's assuming that you approve it. Is July 15th of 2022 is the first one, $15,000 a year. So we do have to run this by the controller's office, but
You don't foresee a problem, do you?
no, sir. It's just getting through the process. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks. So by the next meeting, we brought this back to you tonight before we submit it. We want to be comfortable that you're okay. We think you are. We've been told that you're okay with it, but we want to be sure.
Last question I have. Over the duration of the agreement, the district will benefit by how many dollars over the duration of the agreement?
Over the duration of the agreement, the district's benefits will be supplemental payments in the amount of $1.6 million and scholarship payments in the amount of $150,000, to a total of 1.7, which is over 50% of the tax savings. So the company, this is one of the best deals ever.
So basically, we're going to see 1.6, and that's going to be distributed over how many years?
Over 10 years.
So basically, if 1.6, so every year we're going to see, what, $160,000 more or less?
You're going to get, because of the way that Skip, the first 2 years don't count, you're going to get 1.6 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 years.
Okay.
Beginning, the first 2 years, because they're going to be building it, don't count. So over 8, you get $200,000 a year over 8 years for a 1.6. The scholarships go 1 year on each end longer. The scholarships are 10 years. They start a year earlier and they end a year later.
So basically, the district is going to have a benefit of $1.6 million, correct?
The district gets a direct benefit of $1.6 million, plus there is a contribution of $150,000 additionally that goes to the scholarship fund, which is what was requested.
Because we need to understand the $150,000. I know you may say the district, but it's really going back to students, correct?
Yes, sir. That's why I make
It's not
the
the
distinction.
district. We're basically getting it and giving it back away to seniors that are graduating.
Yeah, you're basically trusteeing those funds for the scholarship. That's how we set it up. That's how we were told you all wanted to set it up. So you wanted a separate fund for scholarships.
So it'd be nice to see you at the golf tournament. Mr. Marin Lopez, contact both of these gentlemen. I know they can sponsor a team, okay? Thank you.
And the district on this matter it's being represented by Mo Casey?
Yes, by
your firm?
All right, so we're good to file this with the controller's office, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
No,
The district is being represented by two different, Moats Casey as a financial advisor.
Okay.
And also by O'Hanlon and
O'Hanlon was the firm
Associates,
that was
because they're going to have to make yearly reports to the district. So it's a joint venture.
And O'Hanlon's already...
Mo Casey, your school finance consultants, probably that been doing it for longer than anybody in the state, been doing it 35 years. Both of them, Mo worked for TA as the chief financial guy, and Dan Casey was the Legislative Education Board, so they've both been doing it for about 35 years. They have done the financial analysis of all of the agreements that you have done over the years. This is not your first, so you've done a bunch of them, they've done them all.
All right. The contract's being presented on O'Hanlon's recommendation and with Mo Casey's cooperation, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And then I think the last time that we had spoken, I think one of the things that was pending was a resolution approval from the county. I see that's already been done, so we're the only one pending?
The resolution on the superintendent?
Yeah, it was for the approval of the
Correct.
investment zone? Right.
The issue here is we can't do final approval tonight because the controller's office hasn't approved it. So there is in the draft agreement, there is an approval of the superintendent's extension. We can hold off on that until the final action. Superintendent has the authority under your policy to extend 150 days time period.
Correct. That'd be fine.
Was that the question?
Yes.
So, can you explain that?
No,
to
the
me?
question was, did the county already approve the tax investment zone? That was the question.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Earlier this year, I believe it was in January or February, Starr County did approve not only the tax abatement agreement, but prior to the approval of the agreement, they created the necessary reinvestment zone. So I think, sir, what you'll see kind of in that final document that's submitted to the comptroller, if it's missing as an attachment there, is the proof of that, the resolution of the creation of the reinvestment zone.
So you lost me a little bit about Mr. Peña, about him having approval to...
He has the authority because they needed an extension since past December.
Okay.
But the statute allows the superintendent of schools to to basically get the extension.
And we entered a resolution.
You granted him the
Right.
authority in your local
So that
district
can
policy.
continue.
We've just been extending it because the board wanted more explanations.
He can't approve the agreement, he can extend the time for which the board to consider it.
Correct.
So we're going to approve this tonight, and like I say, $15,000 is going to go a long ways to a year to help kids, and sponsoring a couple of teams goes even a little further. So thank you for everything.
I appreciate it. I hope my 12 handicap will cut it, but I appreciate y'all's consideration, and we'll look forward to maybe seeing you next month.
Marin, get their number.
The verbiage is in the contract, yeah, right?
It is.
It is in the contract, okay. Very cool.
Before Mr. Varela gets further ahead of himself, let me call for the question. It was Mr. Varela had made a motion to approve items 7 through 10. It was seconded by Mr. Peña. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion now carries. It's been approved. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for being here to answer our
Thank
questions.
you very much. We'll bring the final action at your next meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And talk to Marin Lopez on the way out. He's the big guy with the red. Just don't slap me like Will Smith. Okay. Item 11, consider and take possible action on the amended interlocal participation agreement of the TASB Risk Management Fund. Is there a motion or any discussion on item 11?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, 18, and 19 with some discussion.
Mr. Varela, I'm going to have to have you exclude 17 for some discussion, but all the other ones,
Okay,
you
then let
can.
me amend the motion to approve item, item 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, and 19, correct?
Yes, sir. All right, so there's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 11 through 16 and 18 and 19. Is there a second on that motion?
Seconded.
There's a second by Mr. Peña. Is there any discussion required?
Is discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Just item number 13.
Just one real quick discussion on those seats, the MVP seats, are they going to be ready for football season, Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, sir, that is a plan. If approved, this company will come in immediately after graduation and work through August to get them done.
Okay.
On number 13, I guess the question that I had was just a real simple one. Do we have a committee that you're working with that could, that maybe could ask questions regarding the handicapped seating and whatnot? I've got some friends who have been asking, says, we want to take part and we want to, lend some recommendations for it. They're folks that are diehard football fans, Rattler fans, Gator fans, and they want to have a little input. They're in wheelchair, on the wheelchair accessibility, restrooms and whatnot.
Sure, there's no committee, Mr. Peña, but I'm available at my office. Go ahead and share my number with them. I'm available to listen to their concerns. I know in the past we've extended the, a portable platform towards a track to accommodate those handicaps. But the plan is to add an additional 16 more cutouts, or 8 cutouts, which gives us 16 additional chairs for handicap. We're going to be losing some seats. We currently have 902 seats in the reserve section. We're proposing to obviously expand and give us more space. So we'll be losing about 300 seats, but we'll get 602 comfortable seats with enough knee space in the front where people are comfortable to watch the game. We currently have about 215, 220 reserved or ticket holders, season ticket holders, with, of course, the additional VIP and, of course, comps that we give out to our coaches, wives, and, of course, to our superintendent and the school board. But I think that is going to be a great, addition to our stadium, simply because, people will be much more comfortable on these VIP seats and enjoy the game. It's hard to sit through 3 hours at a football game without a backrest. So I think this VIP seats are going to go a long way to accommodate our fans.
But we're making exceptions, not exceptions, but we're making accommodations for disabilities and wheelchairs and things of that nature.
We're adding an additional 16 more spaces, correct.
All righty. And yeah, they were specifically appreciative of the expansion. They had noticed that. So
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Ms. Jimenez, did you want to address the board?
Good evening. I just wanted to make sure to include the addendum on the number, item 12.
Item 12?
Yes.
Okay. Let me make a motion, or let me amend item 12 to include the addendum that was just given to us earlier today.
Okay, so there's an amended motion by Mr. Varela. Mr. Peña, will you second the amended motion?
I'll second the motion as amended.
Okay. Is there any further discussion required on any of those items?
One more item, number 15.
Sure.
The board has to decide which delivery method it's going to give. I think the recommendation is for a bid process.
14 and 15.
14 and 15.
14 and
Yes, sir.
15.
It's for Officer Row buildings that we're going to be re-roofing. We're going to go ahead and follow the same.
Okay, so
Bidding it out.
it's going to be bidding out to whoever
Yes,
the
sir.
lowest bidder is, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. Do we have to put that in a motion, or?
Yes, in the motion.
Okay.
So-
Well, let me amend that also. That would be item 14 and 15, correct? To those items to be basically delivered in a fashion where bidding it to the lowest bidder, correct?
Okay, so there's a second amended motion by Mr. Varela. Mr. Peña, are you going to?
I will second as second amended motion.
It is seconded by Mr. Peña. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion's carry. On item 17, it's consider and take possible action on the Rio Grande City Gruya ISD instructional calendar for the 2022-2023 school year. Before Dr. Salinas, I know, wants to address the board, there was a survey that was sent out for 3 options. Is that correct? Option number 1 got 68.7% vote. And the following 2, or number 2 and number 3, each got 15.7%. But I know there's some clarification or update that you need to give us, Dr. Salinas.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So we do have attached the 3 calendars that were sent out to our instructional staff at the campus. And in translating the instructional calendar, which drives obviously the instruction at the campus, you translate the PLD days, weather days, holidays. In translating that by statute, the Commissioner's Code, Texas Education Code, the 10-month contract for a teacher requires 187 days. I miscalculated and missed it by 1 day, 186 days, so I want to send a sincere apology to our teachers for this careless oversight. I recommend, on the record, I recommend calendar 1 with adding May 29th of 2023 as a Monday as a work day. So this will be the calendar recommended to the board tonight. And again, sincere apologies to our teachers. It affects our teachers' calendar, which will have to work that 187th day. It does not affect any other working calendar except for the teacher calendar. So again, my apologies for that careless oversight on the miscalculation.
As far as the rest of it, I know there was other substantive things that they liked about that
Yes.
calendar. That stays intact.
Yes.
And that was an overwhelming vote was for that one.
I can say, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent, I know Mr. Peña was actively involved also. We did, with the committee, Ms. Morris and her staff, we did get creative with PLD days, weather days, holidays and obviously it was very attractive. Mr. President, as you mentioned, it was close to 70% of the vote. However, that little caveat hanging over my head, and I apologize again, I did miscalculate that 187th day.
So I move that we approve item 17 as recommended by Dr. Salinas. Would that be a proper way?
With the update?
That's correct.
All right, there's a motion by Mr. Varela, second by Mr. Castillo. Is there any further discussion required? All right, there being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Salinas. That takes us to number 20. Consider and take possible action on Lightspeed District Advisory Council meeting in Miami, Florida on April 20th, 2022 through April 20th, 2022 through April 22, 2022.
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 20 through 25. Is there a second to that motion?
Seconded.
The second by Mr. Peña. Is there any discussion required on any particular item?
The one that I would like a little bit of discussion is, first, on-ramp program. What is the on-ramp program, could I ask?
Roxanne Garza.
Good evening, Board President, board members, Mr. Peña. The on-ramps program is a dual enrollment program with the University of Texas. It's a distance learning program where our teachers work with UT professors, and our students are able to enroll in these classes and earn college credit. At the end of the semester, they're able to determine if they want to accept the credit from UT.
Okay.
So
It's
we're asking for.
It's a program we have with the University of Texas then?
Yeah, the University of Texas. Our teachers go to professional development with UT, and they work with the UT professors, and they help our students. Our teachers Our faculty help our students with the assignments, everything they need to be successful in the program.
Is there a cost to that or not, ma'am?
Yes, there is, but what we do is there is a cost for the teachers. When the teachers enroll, the teachers, we do pay $850 for returning teachers and $550 for new teachers. And we are going to add some new teachers. And for our students, what we do is towards the end of the semester, we have to submit our student information. And if they fall into the free program, then of course we get a reduced rate, which is very, very affordable for our students. And it's at no cost to our students.
Is most of this done by Zoom, or how is?
It's distance learning.
Okay.
Any further discussion, Mr. Peña?
No, I was going to say 4 courses, I think.
I would just like, the other part that interests me a lot is substance use prevention and positive post.
Ms. Garcia
plan.
Science?
Yeah, I know we've always had problems. Where are we at with that?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. President, Superintendent of School, Mr. Peña, everyone in attendance, board members. This plan is basically a strategic outline to guide our staff, our principals, our counselors on the process of prevention, intervention, and postvention. Not everyone is familiar with the process. So within this, there is a flow chart that I had already showed you all the previous time, and everything is here from the prevention, intervention, and postvention services that I have provided. This year is a little different given the situation that we're facing with vaping. Those numbers have been rising. I'm working closely with Ms. Teresita with the kids that have been specifically placed for vaping there, because I want to ensure once they transition to their campus, there is some kind of a plan in place for their family as well as for the student. What we want to prevent is any relapse. So I'm working on getting an MOU with Rise Recovery, and Rise Recovery is very beneficial to the students because they do offer a lot of virtual classes as well. So if the family is having issues with transportation, or the student may be hesitant to go into an outpatient, at least these services will be present there. This year I have started with what we call primary prevention at the elementary, because we did have our first case in 3rd grade with a vape. So that has never been a situation before. So I started primary prevention, and I'm providing the same information that I provide to middle school and high school students. I am providing that at the elementary level. That way, when they transition to middle school and high school, they have that information regarding the education, not only on the substance, but as well the legal consequences, because they are a little more harsher than usual. So,
Vaping is a problem we have, right, ma'am?
yes, with the THC especially, that's where they're facing that felony consequence. Yes, so all elementary, I'm just pending 2 more elementary to complete all elementaries this year, getting that information.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
None? Okay, there being none, there's a motion by Mr. Varela, second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motion carries. Before we proceed to 26, there was an item 19, I was notified of an error. That director training was supposed to, it says Delaware, Indiana, but it's Decatur, Indiana. Do we need to call for a revote on that, or is that
No,
just
that's
put it for
fine.
purposes of the minute, it's Decatur, Indiana,
That's
not
correct.
Delaware, Indiana? All right, I just want to make that clarification, I wasn't informed. I apologize, I missed it. So, thank you.
Number 19.
Yeah, number 19. So item 26, consider and take possible action on contracted professional services for occupational therapy for the 2021-2022 school year.
Mr.
Motion-
President, I
Go-
move that we approve item 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 as presented in our board packet.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve items 26 through item 30. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Velazquez. Any discussion required? There being none, all those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign, motions carry. Item 31, consider and take possible action on Region 1 Education Center TEA Nurse Grant Cooperative Agreement. Is there a motion or any discussion on item 31?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 31, 32, and 33, and 34 as presented in our board packet with discussion. Go ahead, Mr. Orlando, and 31.
Once again, guys, this is another grant that we were able to apply for. So Region 1 reached out to us and they let us know, they want to know how many nursing staff we have, and due to the numbers that we have, they offered us a grant with the amount there that we can utilize to hire more personnel. So it is meant to be used to hire new personnel, okay? I believe on the decision-making form on the bottom, we had a little plan. Unfortunately, that plan needs to be adjusted. So I'm hoping to just amend it today that the superintendent and we approve this testing agreement to go ahead and use the funds allowable. So I understand that you all have the decision-making form on the bottom. The bottom portion, unfortunately, needs to be adjusted. So we were made aware that the FAQ, so every grant has FAQs with commonly asked questions. The ones that we had when making this plan changed. So we have not gotten the updated ones, unfortunately. So I'm hoping to just enter this agreement, and of course, we go ahead and proceed with this grant with.
Is there a way we can authorize the superintendent to do that, Baltasar?
You wanted to,
So what on the bottom of where it says superintendent's recommendation, there's a little plan there that we were hoping to do. Unfortunately, we have to pause that, due to the new guidance that we have that came out after we submitted this form to the board. So I'm hoping to just enter the agreement. That one needs to be turned in by the 31st. So if we don't turn in this agreement, we miss out on these funds that Region 1 is giving us.
but the superintendent can sign it.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So can we just give authorization to the superintendent, or does he have authorization? Or we
Yeah.
have to give it to him by board action?
By board action,
Okay.
it's better. By board action, and then you give them authority
Okay.
to
Well-
sign that and any other.
Okay, well, let me amend the motion to give the superintendent authorization to sign off on item 31, which is the Region 1 Educational Center TEA Nurse Grant Cooperative Agreement.
Great. And once again, this grant was to help us out. Many nurses stopped working for the school district and they went to go work at other places, it was best for the family.
So basically, this program is going to give us the ability to hire more people, correct?
Correct, sir.
How
Yes.
much is this grant for?
It is 91,000 for salaries of new hired personnel.
How many?
Or 91,000.
Wow.
For new hired or previously extra hours worked. So I am working with our federal programs, Mrs. Gonzalez and Mrs. Cantu, and we're trying our best to utilize these funds.
So basically, you've gotten of us between $400,000 and $500,000 in grants, right, sir?
Around that, yes, sir. So, yes, around that.
Fantastic. I amended the motion.
Yes, there's an amended motion. Mr. Lopez, do you have something to address with the board?
Yeah, I do have some, but
Okay, so-
let's go to the amended motion.
There was an amended motion. I haven't gotten a second yet. Is there a second to that amended motion? Second. Seconded by Mr. Castillo. Mr. Lopez, what item do you
Okay.
have? I'm sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to, maybe you could just give us a thing of what the engineer is recommending as far as streets are concerned?
Yes, Mr. Board President, members of the board, Mr. Peña, members of the audience. On item 32, one of the things that was passed through the bond was to pave the fort. It's taking us a little longer to get to that because we've had issues with the drainage. It seems like we will really find out when we get some rain, but we've solved most of our issues with the drainage. The problem where we do not have any drainage is that Main Street as you enter the fort and you go down building 1, 2, 4, and the other side we have the parade field. That is a main road, that was our main focus of paving leading all the way to our ACE Elementary. But because there is no drainage system there, we have been talking to an engineer, which is this person here, Clodomiro Engineering Services, and he has some solutions for us. He gave us a possible option of asphalt or cement going with concrete. It looks like the recommended route is going to be to go with cement. If we go with asphalt, we have to go and have underground pipes that will end up eventually in a holding pond somewhere inside the fort. If we go the route of just cement, he will every so many feet just have an opening that'll drain into the parade field. So he recommends, and of course, until he is approved and he's out there actually doing the work, he'll give us figures, but his recommendation just in, this early process is going the concrete route over the asphalt route.
And when he develops the specs, it's going to go out to bidding, correct?
Exactly. He will develop the specs, it will go out to bid, and again, what we've been doing with every project, we'll go with the lowest bid.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Any further discussion required on any of these items?
I have a question on number 33. Mr. Lopez, have we found a place where to place the Gruya High School swimming pool?
Yes, good question, Mr. Velasquez. That was an easy decision. At Gruya High School, we have a location. Where we're struggling to get a location right now is in Rio High School. The location in Gruya High School, if I'm at the front of the gym facing Highway 83, there's a huge parking area, very spacious. To the right, there's a good piece of land that is basically just there open. It's a very flat surface. It is a good size. It is close to the highway, and we like that because it was between that option and another option that there was maybe a 20-foot drop-off with no parking area, no restrooms. So, and what we were gonna have to put to, fill it up, and put parking, we're able to add restrooms in this front area and utilize the parking that is already there. So for Gruya High, we are pretty set with that area. The concern we have right now is with Rio High School. We are looking at a possible 2-3 options, but we don't have one option right now that stands out.
And Mr. Peña, the Gruya Middle School kids are going to be able to use the swimming pool?
Definitely, sir. The whole district, elementary, part of the proposal is to build a swimming pool, instructional pool, and that's where our intentions are in the future to include a certain grade level, maybe second grade, and start with them. So even elementary students will be able to use the facilities at both high schools, sir.
I think that swimming is a life, something that we need to learn in life. People need to learn how to swim because if you don't learn how to swim, some people can drown. So I think it's a life lesson, a life. It's something that every kid needs to do, whether it's second, third, fourth, fifth, but kids need to learn how to swim. And I think it's going to give a great opportunity for them to swim because it's something that goes for the rest of your life.
And Mr. Velasquez, just to touch on that, when we went to all the campuses to talk about the bond, we made clear to let our elementaries know that that was part of the bond, part of the swimming pool was going to be to allow those, and it could be second, third grade, it could be open to more, but we were focusing, like Mr. Peña said, on a certain grade level to teach them to swim. So, and of course, the month of April, May, there's so many incentives, so many parties, so many things. Well, they're going to have that pool for all that area, all those elementaries, middle schools in that area will be able to utilize that swimming pool.
Any further discussion? No? All right. There being none, there was an amended motion by Mr. Varela, seconded by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. The board will now convene in executive or closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Government Code Section 551.071 through 551.076 and 551.082 through 551.084. The time is 8:32 p.m. Okay, we are now reconvened back in open session, section 9. Do I have a motion on item A?
I move that we approve item A as discussed in closed session.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Second by Mr. Pope. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion on item B?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item B as discussed in closed session.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. There is no action required for item C. Do I have a motion on item D?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item D as discussed in closed session.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second? So a second by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion on item E?
Mr. President, I move that we table and direct administration to resolve the matter.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Second by Mr. Pope. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion on item F?
Mr. President, I move that we approve item F as discussed in closed session.
There's a motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Castillo. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. There are 3 parts to item G, so I'll go one by one. Do I have a motion on item G1?
Motion.
No, this is the first.
Yeah, motion to approve item G1 as discussed in closed session.
Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Peña. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Varela. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion for item G2?
Then I'll motion to approve item G2 as discussed in closed session.
Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Peña. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Pope. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. Okay, there is, vote is 5 in favor with 1 abstention. Motion passes. Since the motion is passed, Mr. J. Peña, will you please read out loud the resolution pertaining to item G2?
Okay, so I have before me, Mr. President, resolution titled RGCGISD and Rio Grande City for donation of 4.46 acres for the purpose of developing a performing arts center. And it states a resolution authorizing the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District Superintendent to accept a special warranty deed from Rio Grande City, Texas, donating approximately 4.46 acres located along FM 755, Rio Grande City, Texas, to the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District. Said special warranty deed contains the conditions which apply to this donation. And whereas the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District submitted a formal request for approximately 4.46 acres located along FM 755, Rio Grande City, Texas, as delineated in Exhibit A, and for the record, which is attached to the resolution. And whereas the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District will utilize said property for the development of a performing arts center, and whereas the Performing Arts Center, including its programs, services, missions, and functions, will accomplish a valuable and important public purpose for the citizens of Rio Grande City, Texas, and whereas the Rio Grande City Commission has agreed to consider and possibly approve donating approximately 4.46 acres located along FM 755, Rio Grande City, Texas, to the Rio Grande City Independent School District, and whereas Chapter 272, Section 272.001, Subsection 1, Subsection 1, Subsection 2, Subsection 3 of the Local Government Code provides as follows, and I quote, "The notice and bidding requirements provided by subsection A do not apply to a donation or sale made under this subsection. A political subdivision may donate or sell for less than fair market value a designated parcel of land or an interest in real property to another political subdivision if, subsection 1, the land or interest will be used by the political subdivision to which it is donated or sold in carrying out a purpose that benefits the public interest of the donating or selling political subdivision. 2, the donation or sale of the land or interest is made under terms that affect and maintain the public purpose for which the donation or sale is made, and subsection 3, the title and right to possession of the land or interest revert to the donating or selling political subdivision if the acquiring political subdivision ceases to use the land or interest in carrying out the public purpose. Now therefore be it resolved by the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District, Section 1, that the facts and opinions in the preamble are true and correct. Section 2, that the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the superintendent to accept a special warranty deed from Rio Grande City, Texas, donating approximately 4.46 acres located along FM 755 Rio Grande City, Texas, that this acceptance is subject to the following conditions. The Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District agrees to utilize said 4.46 acres located along FM 755 Rio Grande City, Texas. 9.451 acres tract document number 365315 SCDR out of tract 1-44.898 acres out of tract 5, portion 81, ancient jurisdiction of Camargo, Mexico, now Starr County, Texas, Exhibit B, and for the record, which is attached at the end of this document, for purposes of developing a performing arts center pursuant to section 272.001 subsection 3 local government code. The ownership of this tract will automatically revert to Rio Grande City if the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District fails to use this property for this purpose. Now, section 3, said special warranty deed contains all the conditions which apply to this donation, and the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District agrees to all of those conditions. Section 4, that a copy of the caption of this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District, read, adopted, and approved this, the 29th day of March 2022, at a regular meeting of the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District, and it's directed to the undersigned, Eduardo Eri Ramirez, Board President, and Basilio Villarreal, Board Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Peña. Do I have a motion on item G3?
I should move like it was read into the record a little while ago, I guess.
Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Varela to approve item G3. Is there a second to that motion?
Falta, is it G3 or
As
is it
discussed, G3 is as discussed.
It's a separate,
G3
it's
is
a separate issue.
This is for G2, correct?
Right, that was already approved.
It's a separate issue.
That was already approved, they were just reading the resolution.
Okay.
Right, so it's G3's,
As
So
discussed.
I move that we approve G3 as discussed in executive.
Okay, there's an amended motion by Mr. Varela. Is there a second to that amended motion?
Second is amended.
Second by Mr. Peña. All those in favor so signify by raising your right hand. There's with a vote of 5 in favor with 1 abstention by Mr. Noe Castillo. The motion hereby passes. Section 10, adjournment. It is now 10:27. Meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you all so much.